going very well. But now, the interviewer turns to the subject of salary. This is always a tricky part of any interview. The company wants to see where you fit with the amount they've budgeted for this position. You can understand their need, but you want to make sure you don't do anything to shortchange yourself. How do you deal with this? What are the strategies you'll employ? You know, of course, that you do not want to bring up the subject of salary too early in the interviewing process. You want to convince the company that you're the right person for the job. Then you'll get an offer, and the offer will include salary and other compensation. However, before they make the offer, the company may want to smoke you out on salary. They do this for a number of reasons. Can they offer you a salary that they can afford, within the range that they've established? If you're the leading candidate, can they bend a little in order to get you? How far do they have to go to get you to accept the offer? And salary plays a defining role in your credibility as a candidate for the position. If this job commands a salary of $120,000 and you're making $60,000, they may feel you are the wrong person. Similarly, if you earned $160,000 in your last job, they may say you're overqualified. So there's risk here, and you're the party that's at risk. To minimize it, your best strategy is to avoid all discussion of salary for as long as you realistically can. But how long can you defer revealing what you're expecting? And how can you do it when the questions get specific? Our advice is that you reframe the questions and drop it back into their court. Here are a few examples. So the question might be asked, what was your salary at your last position? The risk in revealing it is that you'll get an offer with a minimal increase over what you made. A good approach here is to point out that the two jobs aren't very comparable and to get the discussion back to the responsibilities of the job you're interviewing for. So a good answer might be, well, this job isn't at all the same as my last one, so my compensation here should reflect what my responsibilities and accountabilities are. Can we talk more about them? Naturally, this only works if the jobs aren't comparable. If they are, you can't use this approach. Well, what salary are you looking for? Here you want to point out that you're in agreement. You want a good fit and a fair package, and so do they. And let them know that you look at compensation in a broader context than just salary. So a good response might be, actually, I'm looking for what you're looking for. Fair compensation in a position that's a good fit for me and for you. And there are other elements to compensation than just salary. So I hope that if we do get together on an offer, that offer will be fair and comprehensive. Well, what range do you think is appropriate? You're a person, not a company, so you don't have a range. Deflect it by asking what the company has as a range for this job. The range really depends on the company's salary policies, and I'm not privy to them. I'm interested in this position because I believe it offers growth possibilities for me and a fair compensation package. I'm sure the company has a specific range in mind. What is the range you have in mind for this position? Why won't you tell me what you're looking for? This is a pretty aggressive question, but you can fend it off. Here's a suggested response. I would gladly tell you if I believed the jobs were comparable, but they're so different that the comparisons would only confuse the issue. I'd like to discuss your expectations for the individual to be successful in this position. The way I see it, they will more or less dictate what's a fair salary. Look, I need to have your salary information in order to put together the offer. Without that information, I can't put it together. There comes a point when you may have to come out with it, but try not to reveal your present or former salary. Rather, use a range on your expectations. Well, based on what I know about the position and the salary research I've done on comparable positions within the industry, I think a range of this dollar amount to this dollar amount would be in the right area, together with an appropriate vacation and benefits package. How does that sound to you? Keep in mind that the interviewer will take careful note of the low end of the range you provide. You may see it again, so make it acceptable from your standpoint. So here are a few thoughts to sum it up. Try to avoid revealing your current or past salary. Defer and deflect wherever you can. If you have to, use a range. Keep your vacation and benefits package on the table as a negotiating point. Thank you for joining us. Use these guidelines when faced with salary questions. And don't shortchange yourself.